So to get started on this Huda Beauty Foundation review, I'm actually going to start by using the little sample that you get of her primer, which is really like quite a nice touch, I think, because if you're not ready to fork out the money for the primer as well, it's quite nice that you get to kind of try it out. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of this on. Ooh, it's quite thick. Feels quite hydrating though. And that's only a tiny bit and it literally covered my whole face. Don't mind my redness. That's kind of crazy. It feels like a little bit tacky. And then the shade that I went with in the Huda Beauty Foundation is Cashew. I'm not really sure if it's going to be my right shade, but we'll make it work anyway. I'm just going to do one pump because I've seen that this actually covers quite a lot. And I'm just going to use, I didn't buy her brush, but I'm just going to use this Iconic London brush that I really like to apply foundation with. It says using a pump or less, apply foundation evenly all over the face with a dense brush or beauty sponge. So I might also go in with my beauty blender as well, just to kind of go over it after everything's done, because it is apparently quite full coverage. And it says it's meant to camouflage imperfections and pigmentation with a soft focused filter finish. We'll give it a go. We'll try it out. Oh. I think this may be a little bit on the light side. But it has like a really, really strong scent. It smells like flowers. I don't really love the scent. That's like really weird because most foundations, like the only one that I have that has like a really strong scent is the MAC, what is it, Pro Longwear. And that I don't particularly like the fact that it has a scent, to be honest. It covers really, really well though. This is like not much on my hand at all. I do want to go over it with the sponge, which I haven't actually wet yet, which is really convenient, isn't it? I look like a ghost, man. I'm just going in and applying a little bit more and just trying it out with the damp sponge and seeing if that kind of affects the foundation in any way. I do think it is a lot harder to blend this in once you've already got a layer of it because it dries quite quickly because it's quite a matte foundation. So I'd recommend like doing this like either just apply it with a sponge or just with a brush. I wouldn't recommend like layering it like this, but because it just takes a little longer, but actually the finish isn't too bad. I don't think you'd even need any concealer with this. Probably just set my under eyes and leave it at that. So what I might do now, rather than bother with any concealer, I think I'm just going to go straight into my setting powder. This is my RCMA No Colour powder. Pick it up with my damp sponge and I'm just going to set immediately with... Oh, I've just got powder in my eye. It's not ideal. I know this is matte foundation, but I'm like so oily that I'll always set it anyway. Doesn't matter if it's a matte foundation or a dewy one, like I will always set it. So I'm just going to bake the sides of my nose as well as I would normally. What shall I do next? I'm going to set the rest of the foundation and I'm going to use my MAC Studio Fix powder and just set everything because I like really full coverage and this will obviously just help it last even longer. I don't know that it would need it, but I'm going to do it anyway. But like right now I'm like super matte, so I would definitely be piling on the highlight just to like bring life back. I'm not going to cream contour today only because I don't know if it would work with such a matte foundation. I mean, it is like still slightly tacky, so it's not uncomfortable, it's not tight, but it looks super matte, so I don't know if it would work. Maybe I'll try that in like another video and see if it works mixing kind of creams with it. But for today I'm just going to stick to my usual routine, which is just, you know the drill. It's my favourite bronzer in the world. It's the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer, so I'm just going to take a little bit of this just to like warm up my face again. This is just a really fluffy Iconic London brush. It's gone a little bit patchy for some reason. Maybe I didn't set there properly. I'm just going to take that down the sides of my nose. This is like the really quick way that I nose contour. Like, I actually barely ever sit down and do it with cream. Like, it's just so easy to do it with powder. And it gives a more natural finish. And just for an added bit of contour, I'm going to go into my Nars Klein palette and just take a little mixture of Laguna bronzer and the contour shade. Just to like deepen up the contour a slight little bit, right at the back. So now I think I'm just going to wipe away the bake, because it's definitely been there long enough. And look, and that's with no concealer. Like, that is crazy. And it's nice because it's more of like a natural finish, because sometimes I feel like when you chuck a load of concealer on top, especially like underneath the eyes, it can look so unnatural. Now I definitely need to bring some sort of life back into my face. So I'm going to take a highlighter, and this is my all-time absolute favourite, and I hope it never runs out. Oh, I'll have to buy like 10 of these. And this is the Laura Geller Gilded Honey Highlight. I'm just going to take a little fan brush from Iconic London and then pop that right on the tops of the cheekbones, and making sure to kind of blend it. And then I like to take it in like a C shape right around above the brow, and a little bit on the forehead. I feel like with the matte foundation you can actually really afford to do this even if you are oily, because if I'm wearing like a dewy foundation I don't feel the need to kind of put it everywhere, but always tops of the cheekbones, because it just looks so nice when like the light hits the side of your face. And then again, C shape, taking it above the brow. I always take it on the Cupid's bow, down the bridge of the nose. I think I might have to be a little bit extra and just chuck a little bit more on my nose. Ooh yeah. I just love highlight. Chuck some in the inner corner for now. Ooh. A bit more on the Cupid's bow. And I do a little bit on the brow bone, why not? I think I need to just, I've kind of ruined my brows a little bit, I just need to add a little bit more through them. And I think I'm going to add some more brow gel because some powder's got in them. That's the only trouble with doing like your brows before. I can still kind of smell the foundation, like it hasn't actually worn off yet. It's been like a little while, it's a bit weird. Brows are definitely now stronger than anticipated. But I'll just chuck some more brow gel in, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Okay. And I'm back on the Anastasia brow gel. For ages I was using the Benefit one. But, oh, there's just nothing like the Anastasia one, I'm telling you. I'm not overly happy with the brows today, but you know, some days they cooperate, some days they just don't. Anyway, so lastly for my face, I mean, this is actually going to be a pretty quick tutorial, I guess, because we're really just testing out the foundation. But I'm just going to go in with some blush. I'm going back into my Nars Klein palette, and I think I want to go for, I might go for this orangey one actually. This is a cute one, what's it called? Luster. And I'm just going to pop that on the apples of my cheekbones. Quite like an orangey blush actually. So I think I'm just going to go off camera and finish off all my makeup and do my eyes and my lips and all of that. And then I'll come back to tell you my thoughts about this Huda Beauty foundation. But anyway, I thought I would just come back, obviously because I've done everything else and now I can really see like how the foundation looks with a full face of makeup. And I'm actually really, really impressed. Like, I'd say the downside to this, like the smell has now gone, but the smell when you first put it on is so strong, and it's not like really my favourite smell. It's kind of like, it reminds me of like the MAC foundations. Like I really just don't like when a foundation has that much of a smell. So that's like a little downside, but to be honest, like the smell does wear off and you know, I would get over it. But it's a really like nice matte natural finish. I have really oily skin, so it'd be interesting to see like throughout the day how it holds up and whether it like breaks apart, because a lot of the time they'll like break apart around my nose and stuff like that. I haven't got any concealer on at all, and it's covered everything. Like it's really high coverage, but without being heavy. It's very lightweight. Well, it feels lightweight, if you get what I mean. It's such like a weird consistency. Like it covered, like one pump covered my entire face, I do think the colour was perhaps a tiny little bit too light, so I might try and mix it in with like another foundation or something just to warm it up a little bit, but I don't know, I'm really, really, really impressed. And I have set it, I don't think you need to because it is pretty matte, but it's a slightly little bit tacky, but I think that's just for comfortability because a lot of the time with matte foundations they feel quite tight because they're just so drying, but this one, super impressed. So yeah, those are kind of my initial thoughts, but obviously I'll see how it wears throughout the day and then I'll let you guys know in the bottom bar below when I'm editing this to see actually how it did hold up and whether I had to do any touch-ups or anything like that. I'm going to take powder out with me just in case. But yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this quick little review and full face tutorial using the new Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. It does literally look like you've got a filter on your face, so she did well. I'm very impressed. If you did like this review, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. In the next one you might get to see, you know, how I did this little orange smoky eye thing that I've got going on. So yeah, I really hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!